Okay, we've got a linear and quadratic simultaneous equation. These questions come up every year, so you should be fairly familiar with them now because they're always the same format and the strategy is always the same. Um, Usually they're worth 6 or 7 marks. This particular question is worth only 5 marks, and there's two reasons for that. One is that the quadratic is very simple. It's just y equals x squared. The second reason is that it's given you the end result with the x and y's being in pairs. Usually you have to remember to do that yourself. So you work out the two values of x and then the two values of y which go with each of those values of x, and you need to write them as a pair, x equals y equals, rather than just putting the two x values and then the two y values. You need to show that the y value corresponds to a particular result for x. So they've taken a lot of the work out of this question. That's why it's only worth 5. Usually it's worth more. What you always do is you take the linear one, that's the one which doesn't have x squared in it, and you substitute that expression back into the quadratic one. So y is equal to 2x plus 15 and y equals x squared, which means that 2x plus 15 equals x squared. That was hard. Now, we rearrange this. This is clearly quadratic. We rearrange it to make it equal to 0 and then solve the quadratic to find x. So we subtract 2x and 15 from both sides and we get x squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Does that factorize? Yeah, it's not that hard, is it? X minus 5x plus 3. So x is 5 or minus 3. So we've solved the first part of that. But for each of those x values, we need to find the corresponding y value. How do we do that? Well, we just go stick our values of x back into one of these expressions. So let's do it into y equals x squared, so it's easier. If x is 5, y is x squared, so that means that y is 25. And those two go together as a pair. Or y is minus 3 squared, which is not minus 9, it's plus 9. So if you wrote these results as they are in an exam, you would lose marks. You need to make it clear that x equals 5 and y equals 25 go together, and x equals minus 3 and y equals 9 go together, but it's already done that for you in this particular question, so you just transfer those results here. Job done. Simple.